Red Dead Online offers loads of different items to buy, and for new players, it can be overwhelming knowing what to buy into, especially when you do only have a limited amount of money and a limited amount of gold. To help you out, I'll be going through all the items you need to get the most out of Red Dead Online. Before we do get into the video though, I want to let you know about a project that I've been working on. It's no secret that I've created a lot of gaming channels, and because I've created so many, I know how to get them partnered in about 1 to 2 months without needing to promote them on other social media accounts. And I always get asked, how do I do it? That's why I've created an in-depth class on Skillshare. It goes through the basics of creating a new YouTube channel, but it quickly scales up into doing keyword research, planning videos, recording, editing, creating thumbnails, and eventually getting monetized, where you can actually start running your YouTube channel like a business by outsourcing the work. If you're interested in having your own gaming channel, then there is a link in the description down below, as well as you can find it as the pinned comment, and that will give you a free month of Skillshare where you can use that time to watch through my class, and at the end of it, you will understand everything that you need to know. So link to everything can be found in the description down below. Getting back into the video, the items we'll be going through can all be bought at different stage of the game depending what you actually want to do. You don't need to get all of these items the moment that you first start. They should just be on your list, and when you get around to them by having enough money and enough gold to buy into them, that's when you will buy them. So starting off, you need weapons. You are given a weapon right at the beginning as part of the introduction, but you really want to level up and also use your money to buy into better weapons. The weapons that I always recommend going for is the bolt action rifle, the varmint rifle, the Lancaster repeater, and a pump action shotgun. Out of all of these weapons, the bolt action and the varmint rifle should be the ones you look at first, as they can provide the benefit of killing NPCs and other players, but more importantly, they can be used to hunt animals. The Lancaster repeater pump action shotgun is there to help you out when coming up against other types of players. And number 2, we have a horse, and it needs to be a good one. During the early stages, it's pointless wasting any money to go and get a horse from the stable, because once you get it to the max level for bonding, it's still not going to be good. I recommend waiting until you get into a role, get that role to max rank, rank 20, and then looking at one of the max rank horses. They will set you back $950, but they are the best horses within the game. And number 3, you need to apply a good saddle to that horse. You can have a good horse and it will take you a lot further than some of the other horses within the game, but to really make it the best, you also need to partner it up with a good saddle, and I always recommend going for the Nacogdoches saddle alongside hooded stirrups. This will cost a very similar price to the horse itself, but you will be able to keep them for the rest of Red Dead Online, and as long as you have selected correctly, you will be having one of the best horses within the game. Number 4, ability cards. Now with ability cards, you do not need to get every single one of them, but it is good depending what you're looking to do within game, whether it is to stay within free roam or go into PvP game modes, for you to have an ability card loadout. And make sure with those ability cards that you grind XP and then use the money to upgrade them so that you're getting the most out of them. And number 5, and this is where we go over to the collector role, you want to look at the penitent field shovel. This may not seem so special, but it does unlock more types of collectibles that you can collect, and those collectibles tend to sell at a slightly higher price. You will be able to pay yourself back by the time that you actually go through these collector sets. Very similar to this, at number 6, we have the metal detector. The metal detector will unlock the ability for you to find the coin set. The coin set is the most expensive set within the game, and if you can get that, you'll be given back $540. And number 7, this is where we move over to the trader, and I want to start off with an item which is one of those that you probably want to get right at the end, and this is the stew pot. The stew pot doesn't actually provide any benefit to your character unless there is a daily challenge. There are 2 or 3 daily challenges which are based around the stew pot, so make sure that you have got this to grind gold later in game. Go into items that you need right at the beginning of the trader role. And number 8, we have the medium delivery wagon. This will allow you to take more goods at a higher price. And number 9, we have the large delivery wagon. Does the exact same thing, but this time it maximizes the most amount of goods that you can take, whilst also maximizing the most money that you can make from those goods. And at number 10, we have the hunting wagon. The hunting wagon, when used correctly, can save you a lot of time and also a lot of money. Instead of you having to store animals on the back of your horse, which will disappear if you change lobbies, with the hunting wagon, it saves everything. No matter what you store in the back of your hunting wagon, if you leave and change lobbies, you will be able to call your hunting wagon back and it will still be there. This makes life incredibly easy when you are trying to stack up on animal parts, even legendary animals that you can use for different types of activities, especially going into the trader role. Moving over to the Moonshiner, the first 2 items that I have listed is at number 11, a bar expansion, and at number 12, a band expansion. You don't need these right at the beginning of the role, but they provide a very good benefit, very similar to what we talked about with the stew pot within the trader. There will be daily challenges which are based around both of these items, and if you do want to stack up gold, which is highly recommended, then it's nice buying into both of these expansions because you can complete the daily challenges 10 times easier. For upgrades that you want to be getting fairly early on within the Moonshiner or as quickly as possible is at number 13, the condenser upgrade, and at 14, the polished copper upgrade. This will allow Marcel to make higher strength in moonshine and take it up to the medium and also strong. And with that moonshine, you're then able to sell it on for a much higher price. If you don't get these, you're stuck with weak moonshine and you'll forever be struggling to make profit out of the moonshine role. At number 15, going into the naturalist, you should look at getting the wilderness camp. With the naturalist, it involves some of the most pointless items within the game, but the wilderness camp is one of the best items that you can get within the game, especially if you're looking at efficiency. Instead of you having to call in your camp and then traveling over to whatever location it spawns in, you can just have a quick select of your wilderness camp. This will allow you to set up a fire where you can craft different types of goods, and you can also fast travel. At number 16, sticking with the naturalist role, we have sedative ammo. Now, ammo in general is something that you're going to need within game, but the good thing is once we were talking about the weapons that you needed earlier, you could really use anything, but when going into the naturalist, you can't. You use any other type of ammo within the game, you're failing Harriet. You're not progressing through the roles. You need to go and have sedative ammo so that you can sedate and sample animals. With that sample, you can sell that to Harriet. This is what gives you XP, and this is what allows you to progress further through the role. Once you actually get to max rank 20 within a naturalist, you don't really need sedatives anymore, unless you really are enjoying the gameplay that role provides and you want to continuously sedate and sample animals. But for most people, they just go back to some of the other roles within the game instead of focusing on the naturalist. At 17, we have the bounty hunter wagon, and this is a slightly different one to the rest of the items that we have on the list. You only need the bounty hunter wagon if you are a solo player and you are looking to go for the bounty hunter role to go and get those 6-man bounties. If you're someone that plays with friends and in total there are 3 of you, you really don't need to go and get the bounty hunting wagon because you can just stow someone on the back of your horse whilst also carrying them on your back to run, or you can just go and lasso them and drag them behind. As long as you are going at a slow pace, they will stay alive. I see so many people when first getting into the bounty hunter, ranking up until they get to the point on where they can buy into the bounty hunting wagon, and play with friends just to never use it. What makes matters worse is that they also go and use the bounty hunter liveries option to decorate their bounty wagon and still never ever bring it out to the stable. At number 18, we have the camp fast travel post. This is for your main camp. It does set you back a few $100s, and still when you do go to fast travel, you do still need to go and pay the fee, but it is still worth it as it makes life a lot easier. It's rare for you to call in your main camp and for it to spawn in a location which is reasonably close to a fast travel post. So if you are at your camp and you want to get to somewhere quickly, you will need to travel to the closest fast travel post, which can take a couple minutes to then fast travel to the location you want to get to. To have one of these fast travel posts at your camp does make life a lot easier, and you can save yourself a lot of time. Now you don't need to spend a couple minutes traveling to the nearest fast travel post because you have one at your camp. And even though for just one journey it saves you a couple minutes, once we start to add this up over time, it really is something that you do rely on. And finally, at number 19, there are a couple different pamphlets that you should be looking out for. The ones that I use the most are different types of ammo pouches. This will be shotgun, rifle, pistol, varmint rifle, repeater, revolver, and arrow ammo pouches, which does just allow you to hold a bit more ammo. The pamphlets that I highly recommend is Express Explosive Pamphlet, Incendiary Buckshot Pamphlet, Explosive Slug Pamphlet, Dynamite Arrow Pamphlet, and a Wilderness Travel Skill page. For all of the explosive ammo, it's nice always having on your character, whether it's to use against those that are griefing you, just for you to pull out some explosive dynamite arrows, which will really send them flying and also make them back off. And it doesn't really matter if you're a player like me who is incredibly bad at PvP, because as long as you're getting in close proximity, they're going to die. As for the Wilderness Travel Skill page, this is used for you to have the ability to fast travel from your wilderness camp. Earlier at number 15, where we did mention a wilderness camp, I did talk about how you can fast travel from it, but you can't do it right away. You need to buy the wilderness camp. This just gives you the foundation of being able to craft goods whenever you want. But for you to fast travel, you will need to save up for the pamphlet of the Wilderness Travel Skill page and buy into this, and then you can fast travel from your wilderness camp, and that's when things get a lot easier. These are all the items that I depend on when going through Red Dead Online, whether it to make my life easier, or in some cases, for some of the items that we talked about, it can actually increase the amount of money or even gold that you can achieve within Red Dead Online. If you do have any questions about anything, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. But anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, I'm going to see ya.